Just a robot.
So at the start of October, I did a video on a channel called Share My Story. If you haven't checked that video out already, I highly recommend you do so. There's a part where a girl cucks her boyfriend because he got raped by her mom. But a lot of people were freaking out in the comments telling me about a channel called Actually Happened. People were telling me that it was just so much worse, and linking me videos that other people have made on it. Which, by the way, guys, don't link videos made by other YouTubers in another YouTuber's comment section that he didn't make. It's very annoying. Stop doing that. Now, I actually knew about the channel Actually Happened long before anyone did a video on it. But I didn't think the channel would ever take off, and that's why I'm not in the stock market. It's another one of those corporate YouTube channels, you know, the Jaden Animations, James from the Odd Ones Out type of deal. But since they're corporate channels, instead of making up a story on their own, they have other people send in their own stories and they animate them. Oh yeah, and I didn't point this out last time because I thought it went without saying, but a lot of these stories are probably fake. Now granted, I did say this in my last video. I got suspended for being too pretty. Yeah, that sounds realistic. But I guess it wasn't clear enough, or a lot of people missed it, because I got a ton of comments from people telling me that these stories are clearly fake. Oh my god, I'm not even joking here. As I was recording this video, someone commented, "But half of these stories are fake!" Now the channel Actually Happened has 3.5 million subscribers, which is a lot more than what Share My Story had, but I'm still asking myself the same question: how does a channel like this even pull in a profit? I mean, they're uploading every single day. I'm pretty sure they have multiple workers. Workers that they of course need to pay. But considering their videos are not 10 minutes long, they can't put multiple ads on them. But once again, maybe whoever is making these things learned how to cheat the system and is just rolling in cash. I don't know why people were telling me this channel is worse than Share My Story. I mean, you just have to look at the thumbnails to tell that this is not nearly as bad. The first video they uploaded was called Don't Judge a Book by Its Cover, and it's about this kid who doesn't like this immigrant who sits next to him in class because he puts all his stuff on his desk before he shows up to class and then removes it once he sits down. But then later he finds out that the guy just does that to save his seat for him. And then later he finds out that the guy is actually a really hard worker and is just trying to make it in America to help his family out back home.
Moral of the story? Don't do what I do and constantly only think about yourself. It took me nearly the entire semester to realize this guy was just trying to be my friend. Better late than never, I suppose.
Aw, that's a sweet story, and it has a good message. But once again, I said the same thing about the other channel. It had a few nice stories, but it also had a few really clickbaity, really disturbing stories. So how about this one? I broke up with my girlfriend because of potatoes. I heard this is one of the most infamous stories on this channel. I'm sure there has to be good comedy in here somewhere. Well, the story is about a guy who goes to eat dinner with his girlfriend's parents, and he pretends to not know what a potato is. Yeah.
When I saw they were gonna serve baked potatoes, I decided to pretend I didn't know what potatoes were. That would be hilarious, I thought. I acted really strange. I gave out an impressive mixture of curiosity, confusion, astonishment, and interest on my face. They noticed it and seemed confused, but didn't ask me anything. So I launched my idiotic prank. "This looks very interesting. What is this?" They stared at me, and the mother said, "It's a baked potato."
You know, a lot of these stories do seem fake, but this is one of the very few stories I actually believe. Mainly because it's just so ridiculous that no way anyone would make something like this up.
Oh, interesting. Never heard of that potato. Looks pretty good. Unbelievably, they didn't see I was clowning. This was the moment I started to suspect they have literally no sense of humor.
Yeah, they couldn't tell I was trolling. Clearly, they have no sense of humor. I mean, even if they could tell you were trolling, it still wouldn't be funny at all. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this video is making me laugh, but it's not because it's funny. It's because this is so incredibly unfunny, and someone went out of their way to actually animate this. I mean, I brought this up in my last video, but imagine if Storytime animators actually talked like this. "Hi, I'm James from the Odd Ones Out, and this is a story about how I pretended not to know what an apple was when I went to eat dinner with Jaden and her family."
I knew it would be a humiliating epic fail if I admitted to making a joke.
What? How would it be a fail? Now don't get me wrong, I understand that explaining the joke doesn't make it as funny, but the joke isn't funny to begin with, so you're not losing out on anything.
So I decided to act naturally till the very end. They asked me, very incredulous, if I really had never eaten a potato. I sigh and tell them yes. Not only have I never eaten a potato, but I also have never even heard of the word potato. This went on for a bit. The more I insisted, the more they started to suspect I was goofing them. I had to commit 100% at this point.
I don't even know what to say. This is just pure insanity. I mean, you admitted that they suspected you of goofing. They're not laughing because it's not funny.
He started getting red with anger. The last straw came when I decided to take a bite of the potato. And when I did, I made a high-pitched noise and said, tastes very strange. And that is when the father started yelling at me and the mother kept saying, what are you doing? And my girlfriend went to some other room. Finally, the father said I should get out.
You know, if anyone ever asked you what an internet troll is, just show them this video. This is exactly what an internet troll is. It thinks it's funny when it's not, it's the only one laughing while everybody else is pissed off, and it gets joy out of making people angry.
When I came home, I told everything to my father, and who thank God is an old prankster, even worse than me. He was laughing his head off as he told me how to round up the story with my girlfriend in a hilarious way.
Yeah, we definitely need to call Child Protective Services. He's a very bad influence on you.
Everyone's chatting and she's relaxed. The potato story doesn't come out at all. But at one point, while we're clearing the table, my dad calls her aside and asks if potatoes were served at her parents' dinner. When she admits it, he looks alarmed and says, "That's bad. I've always tried to keep Andy away from those creeps." Then he makes an enigmatic face and walks away without going deep into detail. You should have seen her. If she were a less polite person, she would leave immediately, but she remained until the end of dessert, petrified, and looking as if she was at Ted Bundy's house for dinner.
Oh, that's another thing trolls do. Get other trolls involved in on their little game, and start messing with a person up to the point where they start questioning reality.
It could be a sad story if I wasn't deeply convinced you can have many girlfriends, but only one sense of humor. So it's easier to change girlfriend than to try and pretend to be a person you're not.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Wow, what an uplifting message. Okay, this looks like a video that would be on Share My Story. I'm in love with my cousin.
Here is Jeff, my crush. My mom married my stepfather a few years ago, and Jeff is his nephew. So now he is also my cousin. Or, as I would rather say, my step-cousin.
Oh, he's your step-cousin. So he's not related to you by blood, so it's not really wincest. Man, this really does belong on Share My Story.
So you see, there are no blood ties here. You might say that there are no problems then, but there are. First of all, Jeff is like 16 years older than me, and I doubt that he perceives me as a woman at all. I mean, for him, I'm still a child at 14 years old.
Wait, hold on, what? He's 16 years older than you are? Why not use that in your title? I'm in love with my step-cousin. I'm 14, he's 30.
Then my mom shared excellent news with me. Jeff was going to do some business in our city.
What? So he's the one demonetizing all the videos on YouTube.
When I heard the phone ring, I heard how Mom picked it up and understood that it was Jeff calling. I held my breath and began to listen to the conversation. When I heard my mom hang up the phone, I felt almost a physical need to know why he called. I rushed to my mom and found her right away telling my stepdad that Jeff had called to say that he was going to get married.
Okay, here's a good example of why these stories are fake. The girl is following this cousin she likes all over social media. Yet she's surprised when she finds out he's getting married.
Every single photo from his page, and so did he.
Yeah, when you're following someone all over social media, you're probably going to find out that they have a girlfriend or they're going to get married through there instead of through a phone call.
I couldn't believe that he was going to marry someone else, and I felt like I was betrayed or something. Later, Mom said that we needed to talk.
Oh my god, I already hate this little brat, even if she is made up. You see, these stories are written by real people, even if the story itself is not true, and they're projecting their own feelings onto them.
But then Mom said that even Jeff knew about my feelings, and this information almost literally killed me. I'd never cried that hard before. It turned out that my secret love was not a secret at all. And when Jeff was here at my house, he already knew how I felt about him and said nothing. Even asking me if I had a boyfriend instead. Oh, how could he do this to me?
Teenagers.
And now he's going to get married, still knowing that I am totally in love with him. That's awful and devastating and embarrassing all at the same time. What should I do, guys?
How dare you fall in love with a full-grown woman instead of a 14-year-old girl like me? And a lot of the top comments I'm reading are agreeing with me, yet the video has way more likes than dislikes. I don't want to pull this card, but I'm a little suspicious that they might be buying upvotes. I mean, pretty much every big YouTuber has been accused of buying subs, likes, views, and other stuff like that, even though the most effective way to grow your channel is to buy Reddit upvotes. But corporate channels are different. They always seem to grow way too fast. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm already bored. I'm gonna stop the video here. There's no point of me stretching out the video anymore. It's just gonna be demonetized. And yes, I've been having a pretty big problem with demonetization lately. I might start getting sponsors soon. I don't want to, but hey, I gotta put oil on my plate somehow.
I just want to take this moment to recommend a video sharing site called BitChute. It's a website that's been gaining a lot of traffic recently, and a lot of YouTubers are flocking to it. Teal Deer himself is on it, as well as yours truly. This is the main section right here. You've also got what's popular on there right now, the channels you're subscribed to, and they've also got a trending page. And here's a list of all the tags that are trending. And over here you got the categories of what they have. Now when you upload a video, you can only upload the thumbnail and the video itself on the main menu. But as the video is being processed, you can come over to the settings page over here and give a description about what the video is about, or you can even change your video title if you want. And down here, you can put in hashtags, choose what kind of category you want, and select if this content is normal or if it has some NSFW content or NSFL content. Now, about the hashtag section, you're only allowed a maximum of only 3 hashtags. So, if you were to do a commentary about video games, you would put in hashtag video game, Sega, or Nintendo. So that's how that works. And this is the monetization page. Now, unlike YouTube, you don't get paid for the number of clicks that you get on your videos, but you can link your Bitbacker, your coin payments, your Patreon, your PayPal, which is what I've done, or your Subscribestar, or you can do all of them. So yeah, check this site out, Jar. Would love to have you there. You might be the first robot on the site. But have a great day, guys.
My eyes have seen the glory of the cleansing of YouTube, debunking SJWs and feminazis too. We criticize reactionists in hopes they get the boot. Just the robot marches on.